everybody. Thanks for joining me here today. I'm Dorothy Morgan, professional astrologer. You can find me on the web, DorothyMorgan@astrologer.com. All kinds of stuff there. Please come and join us there. Today, we're going to talk about the new moon in Pisces. It's on March 2nd. It's at 12:35 in the afternoon on the East Coast of the United States. You have to adjust for where you live. It's at 12 degrees of Pisces. So you're going to find where 12 degrees of Pisces is in your chart, and you'll get more content there. I do that for my Patreon folks, so they'll get that added information. You're welcome to join us there. It's a nice way to support me if you like. All right, so what I want to do now, I just want to pop up that chart and share my screen with you so you can see what I'm looking at. Here it is. This is what the new moon in Pisces looks like for my latitude and longitude. And I don't use whole sign houses. I use a Placidus system. But that aside, what's the energy? What does this mean? All of these things mean to us. Well, we've got quite a cluster going on here. You can see this. We've got the new moon is right here at 12 degrees of Pisces. It is right next door to Jupiter. So that is pretty amazing in itself, because that creates, with this new moon right next to Jupiter, it's going to extend and expand, that typical keyword for Jupiter is going to expand what this new moon is about. And, in essence, all four of these planets are in a conjunction with each other, the sun, moon, Jupiter, Neptune. It's a little wide for these guys, but still it's all within 10 degrees. So that means that it's a stellium. They're all together. They're all playing together. The moon's going to move through and connect with Jupiter and then Neptune within 12 hours of the new moon. So we have this heightened sense of dreaming and intuition and spirituality. We also have the heightened energy of not knowing what the truth is. Am I dreaming, or is this reality? And, when we have all of those things, it can feel rather confusing. So we need to trust our intuition. We need to trust, our, what we feel when it comes to this new moon. All of this energy in the sign of Pisces, Jupiter and Neptune will come together the second week in April as an exact conjunction as well. But with this new moon, what are we going to do with this? We want to get into alignment with what the soul wants, what the higher self wants. We want to get into alignment with our hopes and our dreams. Those are all keywords for Pisces. Now you can see here how close everybody is, with the exception of Uranus over here. We have Venus and Mars in Capricorn conjunct Pluto in Capricorn. It's not quite exact, but it will be tomorrow, the day after the new moon. But they're all in play, all in play. Everything here is within 60 degrees. This is a really tight bundle chart, it's called, when things are within 120, which they are. We have to count Uranus in here. What this represents is a main focus for everybody alive, whether you're into astrology or not, it does not matter. What is the main focus here? The main focus is the Capricorn and the Pisces. So the Capricorn energy, it's feminine, it's receptive, it's that yin energy. And so are the water signs. So we have a ton of yin energy. All the earth and water signs are yin, so we're receptive. And we know Pisces is like that to begin with. Super psychic sponges. You got to figure out how to set boundaries. This is a piece of what's going on here. This new moon, you can see over here in the grid, this new moon and Jupiter, is Jupiter included in that? Yes, it is. The new moon and Jupiter are all a semi-square over here to Venus, Mars, and Pluto. Now, the semi-square creates a lot of creates not necessarily tension. The squares are tension. This is a half a square. This creates some friction. What does that friction look like in this new moon? With so much going on in Capricorn, Pluto changing the structure and the foundation of what we know, what we believe in. Venus in Capricorn, what is it that I value the most? What is important in my love relationships, Venus? The value of my finances, that's also Venus, right? In that Capricorn, are they steady? Do they feel comforted? Do you feel comforted? And when you ask yourself, how does that feel, right? That money, do I feel safe with my money? Do I feel safe in my relationship? Does that feel stable? Those are those questions. Mars in Capricorn as well, conjunct conjunct with Venus and Pluto. Mars in Capricorn, exaltation here. He loves this sign because he's driven and he's able to accomplish, and he has a lot of drive. So look at that, that gives us the drive. But what is this drive about? Is it to, increase our career, Capricorn? Excuse me. Increase the money, Venus in Capricorn. With Pluto, Pluto is saying there's a deeper transformation going on. There's a deeper story here. Right? This is the United States. Pluto is at 27 Capricorn in a few minutes. We already had the first aspect to it, but it's been going on for a couple of years. So it's not like that one day is going to be anything specific, because we have a lot of one days that have really created a lot of deeper transformation and change that's happening in this country, but it's also happening around the world. It is more sensitive to the United States chart than it is to other countries' charts, but we're involved. So pulling that away from the global politics of things or the national politics, you still want to look at where it is for you. Pluto's been there for a long time. It's been a few years because he only moves a couple degrees every year. So Pluto's already been engaging in a lot of things and requesting that you shift and transform, right? We're all looking for that. And with this new moon in Pisces, we are really engaging in the need to connect to our higher self, connect to our soul. Again, the semi-square between these 6 planets, Moon, Sun, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Pluto, is really creating a lot of stress and tension, So, and friction. So we can engage in that Pisces. I want you to engage in that Pisces. That's what the new moon stuff is about, is to engage in that Pisces and, pose some questions to yourself. I'm going to stop my share. Pose some questions to yourself. I've got this written out on my blog, so you'll be able to go read it. Because the Pisces new moon, all of the new moons, we always want to focus and manifest. And this Pisces new moon is beautiful and sensitive and compassionate, right? We can dream a lot, but we also need to surrender into things, have compassion where we don't usually have it. There's just, and we're just hypersensitive and even moody. All right. So I've written out some questions. They're on the blog. Excuse me a sec. Yes, I have a cough. We're getting it looked into. I have some questions written out on the blog. So the both of these things will come out at the same time. Go and join the website or join my email list, and you'll get that right in your inbox. Okay. And that's a great way to stay connected, because who knows what's happening with social media these days. And if you want to stay in touch, that's a great way to do it. All right. So what's your spiritual? I pulled up my notes. Let's see if we got a couple questions for you. So maybe I'm feeling confused about something. So if that was the case, when I sit down to do my new moon rituals, I'm going to ask for some clarity around that matter. Maybe I feel so sensitive. I mean, if you have planets in Pisces, all of us are going to feel rather empathic with the new moon in Pisces, especially with Jupiter and Neptune. We're going to be all kind of walking around feeling a bit overwhelmed. It's really important when you do feel that way, or if you feel that way, to make sure you ask yourself that question: is this mine or is this somebody else's? That's always the first question you want to ask if you're feeling overwhelmed. So anyways, so how is your spiritual life doing? Maybe you want to set some goals and increase your meditation time, or finally take that mediumship class or that psychic class that you've always wanted to do. Learn to interpret your dreams, pay attention to the dreams, right? And then, there are things with this new moon, especially with Pisces, is, the victimhood or escapism, drugs and alcohol. I can't take it anymore. I need something to buffer the harshness of what's going on, right? We need to make sure that we don't go overboard on that. It's always your choice. Now, do you feel like a victim, or does that seem relentless or endless? Maybe setting goals on how to release that victimhood, or how to move away from it. Now, sometimes too, when it comes to all of this Pisces in the air, in the sky, right? A lot of us are feeling, overwhelmed, or sometimes we can even be playing this martyr role. Pay attention to see if you're doing that, because you want to set goals away from that so you can release that and get back into what's going on for you. Again, the Capricorn energy in that new moon chart will be very helpful for you to set some great boundaries, but you might not recognize it until there's that friction of that 45-degree angle from the new moon to the Capricorn planets. And then finally, the romance, we can't forget about romance. I mean, that Neptune and the Pisces area is where we want to be romantic, and we just want to meld with others, and we want a soul connection. We really want to connect in that way. So there's a ton of different ways to use these new moon energy with all of the other planetary configurations that we have going on with it. Again, it's a bundle chart. So the whole planet is focusing on what's stable, what isn't, what's really going through the deeper changes. And then, how can we come together as humanity and compassion and understanding. Then on a personal note, what do I need to do to feel more safe, to feel, less harsh, to get more into, the bubbles in the bathtub type of thing, where we can just, relax. We need to take care of ourselves, because this is a very sensitive time that's coming, right? And the wool can be pulled over our eyes or revealed. We don't know which way it's going to go. The last time Jupiter and Neptune, I gave a big lecture about this about 6 months ago or so. The last time Neptune and Jupiter were together in Pisces was, I think, 1846. I can't quite remember, but I think that's about what it was. The lecture was a long time ago. And that's where they are now. And that was the beginning of the big spiritualist movement back in the mid to late 1800s. And I think we're in that area now. Anyways, Mercury and Saturn are together as well in this new moon chart. So it could be that we have an opportunity to release, right, a certain way of thinking, because there's when Mercury is in Aquarius and it's conjunct Saturn, we could get really fixated and be very, very analytical. And this new moon in Pisces is asking us to flow a little bit more and let go of all of those details. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that. The words "reach for the stars" came through me when I was writing the blog. And so I went and I just researched it. What is that? Is that a company? Is that, and it's a song. So I'm going to link in the blog, I'm going to link the YouTube video to that, or maybe I'll do it after. I don't know what I'll do. It'll be on the blog at least. Maybe I'll connect it to this video at the end. Sometimes they let me do that. Okay, please thumbs up or down, however you want. Comment below the video. Please share. This helps YouTube know that people are watching. And that would help me too. Thank you so much, everybody. And more of this is on my Patreon platform, where I'll go through the full houses and they get a little extra content and they get this first. So thank you guys. And I think I'll leave you with that. Blessings and namaste.